Your wife's here. I probably shouldn't ask about that song. You know, I have some of those songs that I've written that are like, you know, people ask me about like, oh, who's that? What's that about? You know, I go, about 3 different people. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great song.
Well, you can draw on personal experience and people that you've known and relationships that you've had. But I also tend to, a lot of times, I've been able to put myself in a hypothetical situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, like maybe it wasn't, like maybe I'll tell the song from my perspective, but it's not something that actually happened to me. You
Yeah.
know, or I'll say, you know, wouldn't it be interesting if this happened to someone? You know, and
I'll
you can
write
do
a
it
song
that
about
way.
Tiger Woods when I get home now. It's just like, no,
Oh, that might be a good one.
yeah, really, yeah. The whole thing that's been in the media, it's just like in my mind, you know, that's all that thing. Last night about the whole commercial, you know, I don't know if you saw that, probably, but anyway, yeah, it's like this crazy commercial that's out there right now that he has posted, and I was like, oh man, so I talk about something else. Anyway, speaking of music, and finding music and all that good stuff, I posted, you know, a promoter spot on Sonic Bids the other day for this show, and I had 25 people like boom like that, you know, submitting stuff right away, and I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna have to actually listen to everything that, you know, like
For the show tonight?
No, to come on and play
Oh,
here.
for the radio show. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I just have to, and if you go to acousticsongs.com or sonicbid/acoustic songs, you could submit to come on the radio, and you know, I posted that out there. They put it within 4 hours. There were like 25 people, you know, and so now I'm like, oh wow, I've got to actually listen to all this, and I hope I don't become cynical and jaded, you know, like, yeah, you know, just,
Yeah.
you know, denied. I've already, you know, found a couple. I'm like, wow, I want to have a bunch of people, you know. It's really interesting that it's just when it starts coming at you as opposed to you're going the other way.
Right.
Which this is the first time that's been in
Uh-huh.
this situation, you know. So it's kind of interesting to see what's out there.
I mean, it's a nasty process just being a musician and looking for gigs and stuff. I mean, it's pretty, it can be degrading and humbling. It's just not, you know, it's not a fun thing to do, you know.
Well, if you're doing it on your own, I mean, you have a
Yeah.
record label behind you.
Well, I mean, yeah, somebody at that level, obviously, you know, that's different. But
Mhm.
you know, when you're the one, you know, when you're doing a DIY,
Mhm.
and it's, you know, these guys are getting hit with a lot of stuff, and you know.
Yeah, you're pretty much. Do you do all that on your own, or do you?
I do, yeah.
Like a lot of the booking and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I
and
do.
So you've got to wear all these different hats,
Mhm.
you know. And yeah, I know it's like trying to handle the booking, the promotion, the performance. It's really, you know, just about playing the music. Really,
Yeah,
but
I mean, it takes an incredible amount of time and discipline and humility and
Mhm.
you know, dedication to do it.
Yeah. So you have the show coming up tonight at Howlers, and can you tell us like what's coming down the road later on, what you have coming up? Because we're streaming out to
Sure.
the internet, so
Yeah.
your tour's going to be. You're going to New York after Pittsburgh?
I'm going to Philly tomorrow.
Okay.
Then I'm going to New York and Boston.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going home, and then in May I'm doing a Midwest tour. I'm doing about 10 shows: Chicago, Nashville, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Madison, Des Moines, stuff like that.
All solo stuff.
Yep, all solo acoustic.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll be looking at around mid-May, and then hope to start getting busy with the band again, you know, and doing some more shows with the band and getting that whole machine fired up again over the summer. And I'll still, you know, I'll always be doing solo acoustic stuff, you know, in between.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, you know, this next month is the big push for the record and everything. And I'm also going to be going up to Canada. My record label's in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to be setting up some shows up there, so I'll finally get to do that. I've never done that before, so hoping to get up there this summer and do some shows, and you know, and then maybe next fall start thinking about another record or something.
Yeah, I saw that. It's the record label is out of Toronto.
Yep.
and I was there one time, and it was a really cool city.
It is.
You know, just walk around, and there's musicians on street corners and stuff like that. It was just felt international. You know, it didn't feel. I felt. I don't know, I want to go back again sometime. We went to the Hockey Hall of Fame when I was
Right.
there. And,
Yeah.
You know, I guess you're in Pittsburgh now, man. You're from Detroit.
I know.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, like, oh man. Yeah.
Well,
this-
you know,
the Red Wings fans are just. Penguins fans are rabid down here too.
you know, I've come to Pittsburgh for a Red Wings game before. I saw the Wings play the Penguins at the Igloo. This is probably about 10 years ago. It's the only time I've ever been to Pittsburgh, and it was a pretty big game because it ended up being it went into overtime. It was Scotty Bowman's 1,000th win as a coach. Got to see Mario Lemieux score a couple goals, you know. So it was a cool game. A lot of the people were really friendly to us, but some people were throwing food at us during the game.
People
you know.
are generally friendly in Pittsburgh. It's
Yeah.
a very family friendly kind of town, but it's like it really is a sports
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
that's
good, you know, especially with the Steelers. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's
yeah. The
fantastic.
Pirates. I mean, we've just like nobody even wants to talk about
Right.
them. But it's a great sports town, and that's one of my, as far as music is concerned. You have to get past that because I've booked gigs when there's been like a, you know,
Big game.
yeah, and it's like, oh, this is Game 7 of,
Yeah.
the Penguins. I'm like, I'm not even gonna forget it. you
Well,
know?
it's funny because last June for Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, Wings Penguins obviously, it was Game 7,
Mhm.
and I was playing in St. Louis that night, and I was down there getting ready to go on. My wife was with me, and we got to the bar early, so eating some pizza, drinking some beers, and watching the game, and this bar was packed. And they had the game on about 6 different TVs. And again, this is St. Louis. This isn't Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
We were the only 2 people in the bar that did
Mhm.
not want the Red Wings to lose.
Mm.
And I mean, you know, Pittsburgh was popular that night, and it was
It's
a
pretty.
strange place to be.
It's pretty amazing. I've lived all over the country, and there's always a Pittsburgh bar, no matter
Mhm.
where you go.
I mean, I don't even know that this was a Pittsburgh bar, but it was. I think they
Maybe
just
the
they
underdog
hated
thing.
the Red Wings that much, you know, and you know, and again, it was Game 7, so and you know they were pretty bitter because I don't think the Blues did all that well last year, but
So what's the Detroit music scene? We were talking earlier about the White Stripes.
Yeah.
What's the Detroit music scene like now in there? What do you?
you know, it depends who you ask. It's really pretty sorry, you know, but I'm coming at it from a weird perspective because I'm a lot older than a lot of the up and comers these days. You know, I can tell you that there has been just some great music coming out of Detroit. I mean, there was a band a few years ago called the Fags, and then one of the guys went on to form the Hi-Fi Hand Grenades, and both of those bands are just some of the best music that's come out in a while. There's good bands. You know, Lisboa is a great band. Chatham is a really good band, but there's a lot of stuff. You know, like the whole White Stripes, Bondi's thing really took off, and a lot of stuff sounded like that for quite a while.
Mhm.
It's not the kind of city like maybe Nashville or even maybe Chicago where bars get a lot of walk-in traffic.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, the economy is really oppressed. It's, you know, the
Yeah,
Michigan
right. I
economy,
was wondering
especially
about
Detroit,
that.
is horrible.
Mhm.
A lot of bands who are on tour don't even play Detroit. You know, they go straight from Chicago to Cleveland or Toronto to Chicago or something,
Mhm.
and that's, you know, that can be depressing sometimes.
Mhm.
But you know, I mean, there's good music, but again, you got to dig for it, and it's, you know,
Yeah, I was just curious.
I mean, on a good night, it's great, but
Yeah, I was just like the local music scene in Detroit. I was kind of wondering what that was like. So if you just joined us, we're Acoustic Songs Live here on WN.